Okay, in this series I'm going to do these for Retro Chad. I'm going to get out in his area out there and do a few. This is the Desert Sands Motel in Big Spring, Texas. And this is on Highway 80 West, Big Spring. Heated swimming pool, free television, tile bath, and shower, central heating and refrigeration. That means air conditioning. Restaurant and lounge on premises. For reservations, call Amherst 4-5582. And please don't anybody call these numbers. Now, I didn't have a whole lot to go on this one. Just had a front view of the place, kind of a partial. This pool looks like right there. And this is the restaurant up here. It's a very old car. This is it has to be from about probably 1960 or a little bit earlier. And like I said, I didn't have a lot to go on because Highway 80 in Big Spring is no longer in existence. The physical road is, but it's not. Highway 80 was decommissioned through a large part of Texas, at least that end of Texas. Actually, from Lordsburg, New Mexico east to somewhere in Texas, it's just merged into the interstate. So I just went ahead and made a guess that it was the main street through town. That's correct. But this place is located on the very far west end of town, almost to the interstate. So here's the place today. Big difference. Just a kind of a sad looking place here. It looks like it still is open. It's called the Budget Inn and Suites. Of course, just a barren lawn, no pool anymore. It looks like that's where the pool was. This is on, Chad, if you've been down through there, I'm sure you have at least once. You can kind of recognize this area maybe. But this is facing, that's east towards Big Spring. And I wasn't quite sure of this until I looked at the rooms. I have to sometimes look at the door in the room arrangement, but you see there's two pairs of doors and then there's two windows between two pairs of doors. Well, you look back over here and you see the same thing, so that's definitely the place in better times. Now, what's really kind of sad is take a look here. You just bear with me. I'm going to go up the road here a bit. Let's speed this up some. Here is the restaurant. This was at one time the Char House. I think that's what that's called, but the restaurant is in pretty sad shape now. It's just up the hill from the motel. Compare it to there. That's what it used to be like. The Sands Restaurant. Desert Sands Restaurant, excuse me. There's even customers going in. It's hard to look at this and visualize that someday in the past there were people actually, this was a thriving place. I hate to see that. I hope this place maybe gets reopened at one point. Alright, we're still in Big Spring. Here is the Mayo Ranch Motel. And there's no external photos of this place. There's just some internal interior photographs. Looks like a very nice place, and they kind of brag about it on the postcard. This is a transcript of the postcard, by the way. This is Deluxe Motel, brick construction, Western Ranch hospitality, carpeted floors, beautifully furnished, tile baths with tub and shower, custom-made furniture, professionally decorated, garages, panel ray heat, which is these wall heaters, refrigerated air, radio, television, telephones, insulated, soundproof, fine restaurant, 4 blocks, free morning coffee, beautiful heated pool, owned and operated by Mr. and Miss P.B. Baldridge, AAA approved, member of the Best Western. And here's what was probably written on the postcard, mailed from Big Spring, Texas to Mr. and Miss Jensen of Canoga Park, California on December 6, 1962. 12/5/62. Hi. Third day out, making about 400 miles a day. Left at 6 o'clock, arrived here at 5:50. Beautiful day, but cold in the early hours. Love, Marie. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're only making 400 miles in 12 hours, then you are one slow driver, even in 1962. And this place says it was 9 blocks from downtown on East Highway 80. And so since I didn't have any external photographs to go on, I had to kind of guess at it. But I think it is this place right here. This is on the east side of town, and you can't really see much of anything because they've landscaped it a whole lot around the outside. There's some trees and stuff that have grown up or been planted or what have you. There's the place here. Chad, you've probably also seen that one possibly. And I can't really see if it's brick, but it looks like it is. So that's probably the place. Since it's got all these fancy walls and looks like a fancy sign was there, so it's probably nowhere near fancy anymore. Probably nothing to brag on, but there's that one. Okay, this is a Ramada Inn in Odessa, Texas. Now, unfortunately, I cannot locate this one. Says it's located on Highway 80 at Expressway, which obviously that's the interstate. 12 luxurious rooms, swimming pool, 24-hour coffee shop, 12 complete hotel service. I don't know about that 12 rooms deal. That looks like a lot more than 12. So either that's the wrong picture or they've got something mistaken in the description. But maybe if Chad may have actually seen this place, if it still exists, so maybe he can chime in. Mail from Abilene, Texas to I.C. Horsham of Bixby, Oklahoma, July 24th, 1962. Arrived okay at 4 p.m., 4 o'clock. There's so much to do and so many things to see and hear, we don't know where to stop or start. It's just wonderful. We are so glad we came. Do hope you all are making okay and having fun. I'll write a letter later. Love, Mom and Dad. So, Mystery Hotel there. Alrighty, here's the Travel Lodge, Odessa, Texas. Shows a place here. It's got a large sign on the roof. Cars in the lot. This is probably from the mid-60s. Just a half view here. It's a pretty nice looking place. Original address was 1831 East Highway 80, Odessa, Texas. That's what's now Business Loop 20 in Odessa. This one is Odessa, the largest oil well supply and service center in the United States. Air conditioning, swimming pool, television, telephones, electric heat, patio room, Toddle House restaurant. Phone FE20491. Now, I found this one. For better or for worse, I found it. Check it out. Here's the place. Looks like it's all boarded up now. Sure hate to see that. Sign's been moved. It's fenced off too, looks like. At least it's not been torn down. I guess that's a good sign, but just like a lot of them, kind of abandoned. And this must be what was the Toddle House restaurant here. And you know, like I've said before, it's hard to believe that you look at a place like this, that this place was just, you know, for somebody traveling, this was the destination, a place to stay like this. So maybe, Chad, you may have seen that one too in your travels. So that's what it used to look like. Alright, well, I'm going to wrap this one up with one that's right there right in Chad's area there. He's probably seen this one many times. This is a West Wind Motel, Midland, Texas. US Highway 80 West, 4808 West Wall, Midland, Texas. 52 units, room phones, 24-hour hotel service, wall-to-wall carpet, air conditioning, combination bath, electric heat, swimming pool, free coffee in the lobby. Newly decorated family unit, salesman's headquarters, owner and manager Marvin Eastland, member of MMA. I don't know what that is, but here's the place as it was back in probably the, looks like maybe the mid 70s, judging by the vehicles. And there's a shot of the pool. And Chad will probably say to himself, this doesn't look much different than it does now, because as a matter of fact, it doesn't look much different than it does back then. Still got the same kind of sign. This has been changed, but see that? The one thing that doesn't look quite the same is this doggone dumpster right in the front and what used to be the swimming pool, I guess. Swimming pools, when you get a budget motel like this, is they don't tend to stay in operation. It's a surprise if they do. So, okay, well, hope you enjoyed that, Chad, and everyone else has watched. There are a lot of motels in Texas, and I don't know when I'll come back to Texas motels to do this, because there's a bunch, but I did see one out in Pecos that I may do, and I like to do the smaller ones like these. The larger side, the high rises, they don't seem to change much. So the only thing that happens to them is they either stay the same or they get knocked down. So these places usually tend to go through some changes, but they pretty much remain the same for the most part. So hope you enjoyed all that, and we'll get back to you in another video. Have a good one.